Hey everyone, welcome to Common Sense Gaming. That was our intro music. So you may have heard of this project that was announced a few months ago by Riot Games called Project A. And what we know so far is not a lot. We saw some very alpha looking gameplay. We know that it is some sort of combination between Counter-Strike and Overwatch, and it's very competitive, and that's where Riot's developers are going. This is a competitive game. We're going to build this from the ground up for the competitive player. And even in like their reveal trailer, teaser, whatever you want to call it, they even talked about the network side of first-person shooter competitive stuff you need to know, like how latency works and cheaters and all that good stuff, which is a phenomenal. I'll throw up the tweet that I put out there discussing that. Is very nice to see for once. Game developers talking about these things that players care about, but talk is one thing. We'll see if they walk the walk coming up. But initial reaction to this game, if you were on Twitter that day or that week, you saw the response insanely positive. From my approach as well, this game looks pretty fantastic in theory and kind of where it's going right now. We don't see everything yet, or we don't see much yet, but it looks phenomenal. And I can tell you why exactly there is such a massive player base for this. It should go without saying, clearly any competitive shooter has a target audience. This is a very popular genre, and people are just itching to play. And mostly because, in my opinion, it's like the new age of sports. You know, me growing up, you didn't really play competitive shooters like this, like PC competitive shooters that a whole bunch of people were watching online. Not really a thing yet. I had to play baseball, basketball, football, which I did all those, and lacrosse, and I had fun with that. But now growing up, I think kids are starting to play sports more online, like shooter games. And we've had Counter-Strike, we've had Rainbow Six, we've had Call of Duty, we had Overwatch. Those were kind of like the big names that a lot of people are playing, and Quake back in the day. So here's the deal. Why now more than ever you can see people drooling over this game and they just can't wait for it, which I'm one of those people. We really want a new FPS game. Sorry, I didn't say Fortnite and PUBG before, even though it's not technically FPS. It's a shooter game. But when we're talking about shooter games, I should say it like that, shooter games in general, we want to play a competitive shooter game. There's this massive audience for it. Massive player base want for it. Gamers want to play competitive shooters. Call of Duty has all the resources to do this, but never seems to be able to want to fully commit to competitive side of things. I know they've got a league coming up. Overwatch had it. Overwatch had everyone playing it. The problem is, after years of updates, new heroes came to the game and pushed Overwatch's core gameplay a completely different direction from when it released, which is a real shame. And that's why so many people have stopped playing. And everyone is on the sidelines for Overwatch right now. Everyone's waiting like, hey guys, if you want to turn this back into an FPS game, we'll play. We love this game franchise, but it doesn't play how it used to anymore. So now Overwatch players can't play competitively because their game's not the same anymore. Call of Duty players can't play competitively, even though Modern Warfare is probably the most qualified title in Call of Duty's history to be a competitive game. They don't want to add a competitive mode at all. And Fortnite, some people are starting to get burned out. PUBG, these games have been out for many years. R6 has been around for a while. Counter-Strike is seeing great numbers, but it's been out for a while now, and that's kind of the only game we go play now is Counter-Strike and R6 for our competitive needs, and Call of Duty if we want a pub stomp. What we're seeing here is a game that is on the horizon, that is coming out with elements of Overwatch off the gameplay. It really looked it's heavy-handed in the direction of Counter-Strike, where it kind of looked like this round-based comp shooter, like strictly mechanics, like this is a gunplay type of game, but it had some random abilities, like you could put up a wall, or like abilities from Overwatch where you could put up a wall, or it looked like this guy super jumped in one of them and was like floating in the air, or like Mercy slowly falling, that type of jump, and could throw some knives very quickly, and it looked like a one-hit kill. So we'll talk about the balance later, but this game looks like a true combination of Counter-Strike and Overwatch, which is very exciting to everyone that wants to play competitive shooter games. We have not had anything like that in a while. We are right now, competitive players are in this very dry spell of games. That's why everyone's playing Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov. Now, I personally haven't even tried it yet. I'm in college right now, and in between acting classes and studying for, this and that, and doing this video right now, I haven't really been playing a whole bunch of Tarkov. I'm sorry, guys. It's a brand new game that Nateson is not playing. It's been out for a while, but it's like the big thing right now. It's so exciting to see a game on the horizon that people will fall in love with, I think. And we're all waiting for it to come down the pipeline. And it's so funny to watch competitive players are all playing like kind of casual shooters. Like Tarkov and stuff like that. It's still very competitive. And you get in the moment and you're getting engagements with these random people trying to stop your mission. And you're just trying to extract your loot or whatever. And it's still competitive in that sense. But it's not like a competitive system with ratings, and you see yourself growing as a player against others consistently. You have the data, you have the stats. We haven't had that for a while. All of the games that are in place right now are old. People are bored of them, or the developers have changed the core gameplay experience, which is fine. If that's what they want to do, that's cool, but people didn't buy a game for that Overwatch. It's cool to see this on the horizon. I think Project A is something you should be keeping your eye on. I know I certainly have been keeping my eye on it, and my eye will remain on it. Everyone I follow on Twitter, which is a lot of FPS people, like specifically Overwatch is the majority of them, everybody was excited about this release. And I have to say, this year, I'm sure is the year we will be seeing way more about it. Or they even mentioned that you'll hear from us again in 2020, or they said, I honestly forget. I should have done my research. I know that they said they were gonna lay low for a while. That's what they said in the trailer. I'm assuming sometime this year we'll see more, whether it's within the next couple months or if it's in like the very last few months, when hopefully we start seeing Overwatch 2 stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in to this strange episode of I held a guitar for... I didn't have any planning for this. I never do for this channel, and that's going to be some of the magic to it. I just now realized I never put the guitar down. I've been holding it in my hand like a baby. Nateson's first kiss on camera. Take care, guys. See ya.